This is Richard. We're Gibbs' so-called best men. Before we start, we'd like to thank the bride and groom's parents and family for their help in making today possible. It's been a fantastic day, and from what we can see, everyone's having a fantastic time. So thank you. Joe, you're sunny today. As are your bridesmaids. Bridesmaids, I'm sure you've been at Joe's beck and call over these past months, keeping her calm, making sure she gets what she wants, and mostly being a close friend. I must say, you're looking today wherever you've all gone, spread out. And gents, to those of you who made it to Malaga to give this stag do, smiles I can see. Thank you for coming. We won't say too much about the trip. Lots of museums and but you know who you are, so cheers lads. Cheers guys. Now let's begin with this man here. The Gibbon.
Nice and loud, please.
Sorry. We have known Gibbs for almost 30 years. Tonight we're going to refer to him as Gibbs throughout this annihilation. However, you may also hear the following names for him throughout different conversations. Matthew, Gibbs, Gibbo, Gibby, Giblet, Gibboins, Kippy, Kips, Kipster, Slippy, Slipster, Animal, Frodo, Mumbles, Lock from Lost, and finally Chewbacca and Wolverine, because he is hairy and animalistic. In case you were wondering. If you don't believe, check out the shoulders, but we can't now because he's actually had it all shaved and waxed. We don't know why he got all these names. It's probably because during school there was too many Matthews in our year. So we used Gibbs as a primary for his name, a solid foundation, which we think suits him well. He looks like a Gibbs. We first met Gibbs probably in secondary school in Canopana. Back then, he was a very quiet and very shy little boy. But he had a devilish streak in him. A part of him that was mischievous, a bit like Dennis the Menace. Whenever he did speak, he spoke with a bit of an accent. Kind of like this. Like a shy Arnold Schwarzenegger. At school, Gibbs was a below average student. Chris Valerie, we're sure you're very proud of your son. But let's be honest. He could have done better if he paid more attention to the teacher. Let me give you a couple of examples. Yes, I've got to give you. There's a time he got bored in class, so he decided it'd be a good idea to jam a load of paper clips into an electric plug socket. He then connected them, and I wasn't there from what Richard tells me. He looked up at Richard.
On the switch, I backed away.
And then he flicked the switch on. This created a huge fireball lighting up the whole room. And Gibbs just sat there like... We've never seen anyone go so red in our whole life. We have another example of how your son used to study in school. You know that trick you see in films when you see the guy and he's reading a sophisticated broadsheet newspaper, but on the inside he has, let's say, a naughty magazine maybe. Your son never did that. But he used to hide his Star Wars books inside his English literature books and sit there reading them throughout lessons. I can confirm this because I sat next to him. So Gibbs, perhaps if you listen to the English teacher, instead of learning the ways of the Jedi, you might have to repeat your GCSE. You should also know, behind that smile of his, that he's not the angel he makes out to be. Now, I'm sure, Barry, you're like, no, this can't be true. Well, it is. You might have noticed during the years that you may have had lots of eggs missing from the fridge. We can now inform you they were in his school bag, which he used as missiles by throwing them at school buildings and students. He had quite a good aim, actually. Yes? It's true. I know you're in shock. We would stand there and say, okay, Mr. Little, who was actually probably about 10 foot tall, he was about at your 3 o'clock. You would stand there. Honestly, God, fantastic aim. But you never got caught. You used to find your way out. It was unbelievable. Also, during our school years, he never looked his actual age. He was very, very hairy. We reckon you started shaving probably from the age of 6. 7, there you go. And when we did see you, you always had lots of cuts and blood all over your face. We used to think, by now, surely you must be able to have a proper shave. Even to this day, it still looks like your shaves with a rusty bread. I'll go back over to do.
Alright. I've known this guy for about 30 years, I think. We went to primary school together. There's too many stories. I've got so many stories. I've had to tone things down. If you want to know, speak to me later. I've got tons. He's come back to me in 15 years. I'm an old man. But I talked to my family. I saw them last week, and I said, I'm going to Gibbs' wedding this weekend. My brother was like, what, the animal's getting married? The animal? I said, yeah. And all these stories started coming out over dinner about Gibbs, because we used to have a lot of pies at my house. And I remember my brother said, I remember him in the morning, he used to get the baguette and just stick it into the plate of butter and eat it that way. After the party, we found him in next door's garden sleeping. The time after the party, we found him at the back of the marquee sleeping on an outdoor furniture table. He was sleeping on the table, and this was in October. We found him in the morning. Surprisingly, he didn't get pneumonia. But so many stories. I'm sure people who know him have found him in their bathroom somewhere. That's Gibbs. That's Gibbs. So let me tell you a few stories from our history together. I can tell you that during his teenage years, Gibbs was an excellent athlete. He was lean. He had a small waist. He was bronze skin, he had a 6-pack, I am straight by the way, 6-pack, with the potential to be an Olympic swimmer. Instead, he pursued his ultimate ambition of becoming an IT help desk technician. His solution to all IT problems is to turn it off and on again, or wipe the hard drive. Call him up, they say, have you turned it up and on again? Have you tried resetting? His next ambition was to join the British Army, to help people and protect our nation. However, he traded the army overalls for home base overalls. So instead of trying to find Saddam in Iraq, he was trying to find screwdrivers in the warehouse. Again, well done, Gibbs. Gibbs then further gave up more ambition when he discovered alcohol and chicken bones. This wasn't a complete waste of time. We had too many good nights where many Ilford legends were born. He's provided us with many legendary catchphrases, such as, tastes like chicken. Or, take the bloody photo. Or, I like girls with short hair. One of his most famous sayings that goes down in Ilford legend was when he left the pub drunk and he got onto his pedal bike. As soon as we got out of the pub, he took the bike down the road in front of everybody, crashed into the curb and fell over. He'd get up off the floor and then he said, "Who put the pavement there?" Classic Gibbs. Ultimate legend. After we left school, we went to university. Yes, we went to university. Myself, Ryan, and Gibbs. We went to Bournemouth University. Well, we went to university, well, Gibbs just came to Bournemouth. He lived with us for a year, and while me and Ryan went to study. So Gibbs was drinking, partying, playing computer games, eating Weetabix, and I must say, On the odd occasion, he worked at home base. It was his first time looking after himself, and I must say he failed miserably. He didn't know what condition it was. He left plates and saucers under his bed, throwing all kinds of mould under that bed. It was disgusting. He owed me a plate and he owed me a pot. I still remember he left them to rust. Actually disgusting. So Joe, we do need to tell you that when Gibbs says he has done the washing up, it means he's hidden the dirty plates under his bed. You see that nod of But when he says, I'll cook you a meal, he's really getting you KFC with coleslaw. And when he says you're having a romantic evening together, this means you're watching an illegal download, followed by a game of Mario Kart. So Joe, be careful with his little time-saving schemes, which he thinks he's always getting away with. You can always tell when his hand is hanging outside of his mouth, when he's doing something naughty you shouldn't be. So although we're pretty sure you tamed the animal, I put an end to his little tricks. That's all good. But one of the many things we love about Gibbs is that no insult really affects him. No insult really affects him, and we've been ripping out of him for many years. We love that about him. Except for one story. Except for one story. You knew you wouldn't get away with this one. This is the only story that makes him cringe 20 years later. And it's still painful for him to this day. I love it. But not many of you know that Gibbs has a unique skill. He's musically gifted. I have a short story about his secret creativity. Once upon a time, in Cannon Palmer Secondary School, music class, we were given an exercise to compose a tune. We were put into groups of 3, each with an instrument. The 2 other boys in Gibbs' group were using the woodblock and the cymbal in that order. So the music was sounding like But Gibbs did not use an instrument. We're not sure whether this was out of choice, or he felt divine inspiration, or whether there was a Moby deep inside him trying to get out. We may never know. Instead, he used his voice. And on the music sheet, the words were written, It was supposed to be a choir boy kind of sound, as Gibbs used to be an altar boy. However, when it came to it, it sounded more like, There was the woodblock, the cymbal, and Gibbs singing. So it should have sounded like, But it came out sounding like, And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Gibbs has told us he would like to recreate that day.
I'm going to be the triangle. Well done, Gibbs. Much better many years ago. Okay. So if we can be serious for a moment. Gibbs is a great guy. I'm sure everyone that knows him will agree. He's got some fine qualities that makes him unique and makes him proud to call us our friend. I think he's one of the most generous and unselfish friends we have. If you ever needed help with something, or a quick chat down the pub, he would be there, no matter what time, and he would buy you the first pint. He appreciates the simple things in life, family, friends, above all things. Joe, he's an excellent father, and we are sure he will be an excellent husband. We've known Gibbs for many years, and we know how besotted he is with you. We can remember Gibbs talking about you 20 years ago when he first met you at the Guide and Scout meetings. From that day, you were the one for him. It may have taken 2 decades, but you finally gave him a chance. And you know, we are so happy for you both. We've got ones of our heart. Now, ladies and gentlemen, finally we'd like to propose a toast. So everyone, if you could please stand. Everyone, to the bride and groom, cheers, and may the force be with you.
Well done.